my beautiful people of YouTube. That's right, YouTube. I'm just waking up this morning, as you guys can tell. I'm still got Betty Bedhead. I'm literally just waking up. And so I'm looking through all of these videos and news articles that were coming in from yesterday, and I came across this article from the Associated Press, and it's a little wild and it's a little concerning, and it's about an ER doctor that wound up in an Arkansas lake, reservoir, pond, shot. Was it suicide? Or is there foul play? Check this out. Good morning, guys. Bullhorn Betty here. I have not gone live yet. Just yet. I know it's getting early, but everybody's just waking up. So happy Thursday, everyone. I was doing some research this morning and I came across this article. The body of a Missouri ER doctor found in Arkansas Lake had an apparent gunshot wound. So this is a interesting title that kind of draws you in. You're hearing of an ER doctor that's in a different state winding up in a lake in Arkansas, and it just pulls you right in, like, what in the world is going on here? You're naturally, us being from true crime, we're naturally thinking something nefarious. And I truly do believe, just with the title alone, that there may be something nefarious in this article. We'll see. Kansas City, Missouri. A missing emergency room doctor from Missouri was found dead in Arkansas from apparent gunshot wound, authorities confirmed Wednesday. But they are still investigating what happened in the weeks since he had last been seen. A kayaker discovered the body of 49-year-old Dr. John Forsyth on Tuesday in Beaver Lake, a large reservoir in northwest Arkansas, the Benton County Sheriff's Office said. No further information would be immediately released, authorities said, and they didn't specify if he was shot by someone else or if the wound was self-inflicted. That's an interesting statement, because as soon as I read the title, I naturally thought nefarious means. He's an ER doctor from Missouri, and he wound up in a lake in Arkansas with a gunshot wound. I'm sure there was thousands of places he could have went in Missouri and took care of business if that was truly what he wanted. This appears to be a situation where he was taken much further outside of his hometown. It already smells cover-up-y, if that makes sense. The doctor's unlocked vehicle with his wallet, 2 phones, a laptop, and other items have been found Sunday near city-run public pool in Cassville, the town in Missouri Ozark, where he works, said his brother, Richard Forsyth. The body was found at the location about 20 miles away. Arkansas authorities said Cassville is about 200 miles south of Kansas City. Surveillance videos from the pool showed John Forsyth's black Infiniti pulling into the parking lot, and a white SUV can be seen parking near him a few minutes later. His brother said in an interview Wednesday, "We're devastated, especially at the nature of his passing," Richard Forsyth said. He said Wednesday evening the police had given the family no new details other than the investigation into his brother's death and how he went missing were continuing in both states. The last time the 2 brothers met in person was at dinner Wednesday, May 17th. I told him that this is the happiest I've seen him in a long time. His divorce was final May 11th. And I think that gave him the energy for the future, Richard Forsyth said in an earlier interview. Let's see if there's anything else. John Forsyth had recently become engaged to be married, his brother said, and his fiancée was the last known person to communicate with him, texting at 7 a.m. on Sunday, May 21st. The doctor was reported missing that same day when he didn't arrive to work at Mercy Hospital, police have said. Richard Forsyth said the family was mystified by his brother's death and rejected the theory that he might have taken his own life. See, even the family doesn't even think that. It just doesn't smell like that's the case. I don't believe it, he said. John would never do that. I won't accept that possibility. John Forsyth was the father of 8 children, and his brother said, and was dedicated to his work, and he never missed a day, stayed in an RV near the hospital when he was on call, and was never late for difficult shifts in the emergency room. Sounds like a very dedicated person, but wow, 8 children. This has got to be very disturbing for those 8 children. I didn't realize he had so many children, but the heartbreak they must be going through. So let's keep those children in our prayers. His brother-in-law, Jason Musgrave, in a call with the Associated Press Wednesday from Ozark, Missouri, also rejected the idea John Forsyth was dying by suicide. I feel it's foul play. I feel like it's been, it has to have been, Musgrave says, adding that it was also hard to imagine that anyone who knew him would want to hurt him. He was funny, engaging, and the life of the party, Musgrave said. He said the news that his brother-in-law's body had been found had hit the family like a bus full of bricks. I can only imagine. Messages seeking comment from Missouri Highway Patrol and Cassville Police on Wednesday were not immediately returned. When the doctor's vehicle was found, several law enforcement agencies reached about a 9-mile, 50-kilometer radius around the aquatic park using people, dogs, drones. Forsyth's family set up a Facebook page seeking information. Gina Forsyth Farlano, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I apologize, said her brother was smart, confident, loved to help people, and was devoted to his family. In the days since his disappearance, she said the family has heard at least 3 stories of people who have persuaded not to take their own life, but Forsyth never mentioned those cases to his family. He recalls in an interview Wednesday from Price, Utah, I miss him terribly, Forsyth Farlano said. I am devastated that he's not here. Just as a really sad case. But what am I feeling when I kind of read this for the first time? Obviously, he went to the aquatic park. He drove, at least from what we're hearing. We've seen a black Infiniti. You see a white SUV. Was he in the Infiniti when it was dropped off? We don't know. It didn't say that. It did not specify that in this article. So I'm sorry. It just seems personal to me. This seems personal to me, and it seems like he was dumped in an area that somebody had to have frequented, because I don't know who would have thought to dump him in Arkansas in this reservoir, right? So it something does not smell right here, but I do believe his family. I don't believe, just based on what I'm reading, that this was a suicide. So I'll keep monitoring this. Let me know what you think. Was this suicide, or do you think he was killed? Do you think with 8 children? I'm curious to find out what the 8 children's age are. You know, we have issues with our young kids these days. So, 8 children, it's a lot of kids. You never want to think that possibility, but for us in a situation where we're lacking facts, we're going to have to go down some rabbit holes to make heads or tails of this. So anyways, there's your information, folks. Again, the doctor right there seems like a very hard worker. I mean, that really seems like what the family has really showed us in this article. I mean, staying in an RV, never being late even for those difficult shifts. He seemed like he was very dedicated, and it seems like a huge loss, not only to his family, but to the medical community there in Missouri. Hey guys, to add a little more mystery to this case, in another article out of New York Post, according to his grieving brother, Forsyth was mysteriously kidnapped and released February 2022. Apparently a friend told him about this, so he had no knowledge. When I was reading the Associated Press, Apparently, he had no knowledge about this alleged kidnapping until after that article was done. But by the time New York Post, now granted, this is according to his brother's statement. I mean, this is what his brother, Richard Forsyth, said. Family had been gathered together eating dinner Tuesday night when state police came to the door and shared the tragic news. We were devastated, Richard told Fox News Digital, noting he did not think the cause of death was suicide, which we heard in the other report. That's what he thought. And I agree that that's probably what I thought based on the information. There's no way he killed himself, he said. Many times he mentioned he might be in danger. So now we're starting to hear, from the first article to this article, now we're starting to hear more of an urgency where he may have actually been in danger. And as we continue reading, according to the grieving brother, Forsyth was mysteriously kidnapped and released February of 2022. It was cold. He was zip-tied. He was made to feel very unsafe and was taken on a car ride with some people to a bridge, and he was threatened, Richard said. Richard, who said he only found out about the alleged kidnapping from a friend after his brother went missing, shared that a police report was never filed. He did not file a police report because he believed he was in continued danger, Richard said. Richard said he didn't know who would want to harm his brother, who was regarded as the devoted healthcare provider and loving and generous father. Forsyth was reported missing 9 days before his body was found after he failed to show up for work for the first time in nearly 15 years working at that hospital. So I just wanted to give you some more updated information. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.